Okay, kind greetings to all. Today we are going to present our research project titled Analyzing how communicative language teaching strategies can be adapted to improve overall fluency in online learning environment. So this study focuses on how communicative strategies can help students improve their speaking skills in virtual English classes. We choose this topic because many students participate very little orally in online classes, even when they know vocabulary and grammar. So our project explored how teachers can adapt communicative activities to make online learning more interactive, meaningful, and effective for oral fluency development. So in this session, we have prior research, and we reviewed previous studies related to oral fluency and communicative language teaching. And the prior research showed that many EFL students experience difficulties speaking English fluently because they feel anxious, fear of making mistakes, or lack opportunities to practice orally. And previous studies also explain that communicative activities such as discussions, role plays, and collaborative tasks help students gain confidence and improve interaction. These investigations inspire our research because they demonstrate that communication centered strategy can positively influence oral performance, especially when adapted to a virtual environment. Now we have face-to-face versus virtual classroom. The original research was mainly focused on face-to-face classroom settings. However, educational conditions change and many learning process move to virtual environments. Because of this transition, teachers and students face a new challenge, such as limited real-time interaction, technology-related anxiety, prolonged silence during participation, and reduced spontaneous communication. So, for this reason, our study analyzes how communicative teaching strategies can be adapted to online classes in order to maintain activities participation and oral fluency development. Now we have theory. This session presents the theoretical foundation of our research. First, Himes explained that communicative competence means using language effectively in real life situations, not only learning grammar rules. Second, we have Krashen that who states that language acquisition occurs through meaningful communication and understandable input. Another important contribution is from Purnam Manigulam, who explained that instruction adapts to students' need increased participation and engagement. Finally, Hamid and Asrobi highlight that structured communicative strategies such as role plays and guide interaction reduce hesitation and improve overall performance. So these theories support our idea that communicative strategies can significantly improve oral fluency in online learning environment.
Okay, so now we have the talk about our methodology. It means the reflective process that we take into account regarding this investigation. So our study used a qualitative action research approach. The purpose was to examine how communicative skills or language teaching strategies were used in face-to-face classroom and how these strategies could be adapted to virtual environments, in this case, our pedagogical practices, to improve fluency in English. For this methodology, we use a contrastive analysis matrix to compare the some data tools that we use, and the strategies between in-person and virtual settings. So in this case, we have the variable lesson plans. In-person classes focus more on grammar and vocabulary. Meanwhile, virtual classes require adaptive planning with digital tools. And in case of physical materials like worksheets or boards were used to regulate this kind of activities. And meanwhile, in virtual environments, we used digital platforms or digital resources such as video presentations and some activities in online platforms, videos, and etc. Regarding engagement, we could notice that in face-to-face settings, we have like regular communication and something like we frequent use speaking to develop this kind of activities. Meanwhile, in virtual environments, we use it more digital resources or chat usage to communicate with the students. And we also use visual activities. In case of evaluation, in face-to-face settings, we use the direct oral assessment to evaluate and to give immediate feedback to the students when they did an activity. And regarding virtual assessment, we use it Google Form to ask questions or to give an implementation of the activities through questionnaires, and to give written feedback. Regarding classroom interaction, we use regular communication, teamwork, and frequent speaking. Meanwhile, in virtual settings, we notice low involvement and the taking turns to speak. It means that we had to motivate students for them to speak because they were scared of making mistakes. So we have to encourage them to speak. And last but not least, the learners' outcome. In face-to-face environment, there was a general lack of interest in learning the language, in this case, English. They only speak English when they had a grade, when they were given a grade about a task or activity. In case of virtual learning, they participate a little more, but there is no certain evidence that they have truly internalized the knowledge. There was no proof of a method of how to prove that. So continue with the final resource regarding all the tools that we used previously. As I mentioned before, we move into the findings of the student. So the general findings of this study show us that communicative speaking exercise improves the students' oral fluency. So at the beginning of the intervention, yes, the students often show hesitancy and fear of making mistakes, as I was mentioned. There were numerous pauses and filler words like when they spoke, and there wasn't an uneven participation. More confident students tend to raise their hands to participate, and dominate the activity while others avoid speaking. However, as we gradually implement and introduce these adaptive and communicative activities, we realize that we made some positive changes, or some positive changes emerged from these adaptations, such as pair work, and speaking exercise, reduce students' fears to communicate and give their opinions about some activity, or just express their ideas. The students began to show more confidence and willingness to interact while we're doing the activities. They show motivation and participation, active participation on their part. And the guided conversations that we utilize promoted more spontaneous communication in relevant context. It means that when we use activities based on on their environment or their daily life, they show greater participation. And this was registered, or was noted in the observation logs and field diaries that we use in our research article. So this showed that they respond faster and produce longer utterances, show less grammatical errors after they use this kind of communicative activities. Finally, we have the conclusions. It means the results um, that we construct based on the results that we already found. So we have the communication activities adapted for an online setting, like role plays, peer work, or digital presentations, improve fluency and confidence of the students. Also, the students overcame their fear of making mistakes. It means that they paused less and often spoke more spontaneously. They feel more confident after we give an implementation of these kind of strategies. Support such as visual aids and cue phrases created a low anxiety environment. It is important to note that the creation of a low anxiety environment means that we motivate the students and give them the support that they needed, help them to overcome those challenges. And finally, grammar and vocabulary difficulties persist, but they do not prevent more fluent communication. Although we didn't eliminate for complete the difficulties persisted on grammar speaking, we achieved to reduce a little bit of these difficulties. So yeah, this was all for this presentation of our research article. Thank you very much.